Hey Cancer, how's it going? This is your reading for August of 2017. My name is Dre. Ugh, excuse me. Sorry these are so late. It was a crazy week, eclipse season, Mercury retrograde, blah blah blah. So yeah, I will do these, and then you guys will be as well as Aries, Taurus, Gemini. Excuse me. Will be first next time after Virgo. So yeah. Just as like a disclaimer or whatever, the way I do readings, if you do ask for a personal reading, again, thank you guys so much for all of your comments, your support. I really appreciate it. It really helps me get through this, especially in like crazy times like these where, I see that you guys actually really appreciate, my readings and my approach. I'm just so thankful for the feedback. Keep up that feedback. I really appreciate it. Yeah, like when I do readings, I'm not a future teller. I personally don't see tarot reading as having that purpose. It's more so like helping you in the current to help you, either bring in, understand our future a little bit better or understand where we're going a little bit better. But as far as like, will this happen, whether it's like yes or no, will this happen, will it won't, I can't tell you that because I don't know. I can't see into the future. And, it'd be wrong of me to say yes or say no to something that winds up either, happening or not happening. So to cover my own ass, I don't do those types of readings. But anything else, like, are you heading in the right direction with such and such? Like that sort of stuff I'm better at. But not, will this or won't this happen? I can't do that. Anyway, so here's your reading. In the center, we have the King of Wands. We have the Eight of Cups. The High Priestess. Ace of Pentacles, Ace of Swords, Queen of Swords, Nine of Pentacles, the Hangman in reverse, and the Six of Swords in reverse. Outcome, we have the Alchemist or the Magician in reverse. Additional card, we have Nine of Wands in reverse. So not bad cards, Cancer, especially compared to every other month so far this year. I see a lot of this as being a time for you guys to revisit a lot of things. Let's see. I'm trying to figure out where Virgo is in relation to Cancer on the birth chart. And I'm pretty sure it is you guys' third house. Okay, because that's, it's Virgo season. So communication is going to play a big role going forward this month, as well as Mercury being retrograde in Virgo. I'm actually not sure when that retrograde ends. But yeah, I still feel like that energy in itself will be important, having to go back and having to relook and reanalyze at things. Because there are a lot of new beginnings that are happening, especially with those of you that are married or engaged. I see something interesting is happening. Or if you're looking for a partner, things actually look really good. But the lesson here is to be mindful of your history, to be mindful of your past, because we do have a few cards here that represent still having that energy, of hanging on from the past. We have the Six of Swords in reverse, the Eight of Cups, and the Nine of Wands. We also have the Hangman in reverse. So that could be, rushing into something too quickly, not taking enough time to analyze whether or not it's something that's beneficial for you. I see finances especially. Some of you might meet somebody like at work, or, you might have something happening with somebody at work, or you might meet somebody in your travels if you're traveling, or somebody might come into your life that he seems like a revelation. But of course, the alchemist in reverse is telling me to be mindful of that. Um, and so is this hangman, and with the high priestess as well. Some people are too good to be true, and I'm not getting anything bad, any bad intentions so far from this character or from this person. So so that's the case. So go out there and date, and you might meet somebody. If you're not dating, this is a need for you to sort of integrate these two aspects of yourself that are sort of ready. They're primed and they're ready to put to some use out into the world. Gathering all of your connections and all of your mental acuity. Understanding that some of you might have just a desire to explore or do something different, or to really start a new venture, putting your all into it. All of your your knowledge, all of your history, all of your time. And with these aces, I really feel like now would be a great time to get anything started that you want to get off the ground. I feel like you guys have support around you. Either you have, you're financially, you can support yourself financially to probably do something on your own, like an independent venture, if that's the case for some of you. If not, joining forces with somebody else, whether it's somebody that you see that, as your equal, somebody that you really respect, somebody that you've known a while, getting together and doing something in terms of making something work, a collaborative effort. I really see that. And if that isn't the case, I feel like for a lot of you, not for a lot of you, but for some of you, now is really going to be the time for you to, if this person is somebody that's coming back into your life, and if it's not him, it could be this somebody that's more like this queen. Either way, with the alchemist in reverse, I'm seeing it as somebody is trying to come back into your life, of course, because it's Mercury retrograde, and they're just going to give you the false hope of a new start, but it'll just be the same old bullshit. And this will be the test for you to understand how far you've come in terms of you guys' relationship, in terms of where you are now from where you've been. There's a moon here, so I really feel like that. There's a moon in this card and in this card. So again, I feel like pay attention to what I feel like that eclipse was telling you guys. And even if it wasn't anything that you could see physically, I still feel like, at least in your dreams, or at least in your subconscious, there are certain thoughts that are sort of eating away at you, sort of demanding your attention. And you need to give them the attention that they want. If you're having bad feelings about somebody, or if somebody just, when they come around, they always bring dread and negative energy, now would be the time to reassess that and just be like, well, I don't want that in my life, especially if they're trying to woo you or try to sell you a story about how things will be different this time, or how, you two are meant to be together, and that, nobody can do, nobody lives up to you and all that stuff. Just take it for the bullshit that it is. Now is the time to eclipse out old energy and bring in new energy. That's exactly what that eclipse was for. That's what all eclipses are for. And so now you have to recognize that it's best to never rush into anything. With the Six of Swords and with this Hangman in reverse especially, time is of the essence. Time is on your side, rather. It's important to understand that, you don't always have to rush into something, especially if somebody comes along with a new offer that seems so perfect and so good to be true. Recognize that it just might. Always use your own discretion. Understand that, well, sometimes when people come into our lives offering us the world, we drop everything and we go. With this Nine of Swords, or with this Nine of Wands, it's telling you that is not the good idea for now at this point in your life. You have the autonomy, you have the independence on your own to make decisions without having to give your life away to somebody else. And if you do decide to do that, understand that in and of itself could potentially lead you back to where you once were with this Eight of Cups, with this sorrow, with this sadness. that needs to be addressed, that needs to be completely dealt with, but it needs to be dealt with in a realistic way. Even if that means going back to an ex, but I really feel like the chemistry won't be the same. You'll understand that something different has you. The high priest is always like a new level of woke, of awakeness, of not seeing things as you had initially seen them, prior. She's the keeper of all knowledge, of all wisdom, and we come into this, whether we like to or not, we just come into new levels of awareness the older we become, or at least that's how it should be. So don't blind yourself to anything that is obvious, to anything that is too good to be true. Be willing to work for what you want on your own time. Don't have. I feel like you're at a position now where you shouldn't need to jump through hoops for somebody else. You should be having people jump through hoops to get to you, because you're the one that experienced all the pain. You're the one that's had to deal with a lot of this on your own. You've had to deal with this just simply just by dealing with it. You haven't had anybody to help you on the inside really deal with any sort of emotional pain that you've been dealing with. And now should be a time, I feel like, to sort of analyze that pain. Like I said, with Virgo season, analyze it, see it in a different way, see it, use it as a weapon, use it as a guard against from having anybody else trying to really take advantage of you. And I feel like if you allow yourself to become this queen or this king, that should be helpful in and of itself. But again, don't jump too foolhardy. Don't be too foolhardy when it comes to certain decisions. There are going to be some things here that you have to go over again. Again, Mercury retrograde. And it might deal with an ex, or it might deal with having to, if you're working, having to redo several projects at a time. These beginnings might be a little bit delayed because I feel like this season is going to force you to work harder for them. And there's always going to be somebody around you that's either going to undermine you or use their power to your disadvantage. But they can't shake you up if you already have some sort of independence on your own. If you're secure and confident in what you're doing, they're not going to be able to shake you up. Be it an ex, or be it a coworker, or be it a family member. So yeah, I'm going to pull more cards from the Osho Zen Tarot deck. So let's see what we have. So we have receptivity. Taurus had receptivity in that exact same spot, I'm pretty sure. Which is the Queen of Cups, moment to moment, which is the Two of Pentacles. The Master, which isn't anything. Transformation, which is death. Aloneness, which is the Hermit, Virgo card. And Courage, which is strength. We also have Understanding, which is, I think, the Page of Cups. And we also have Totality, which is the Five of Wands. So all of this is you need to be, again, your own best friend. You need to be there for yourself, and you need to look out for yourself, because I really feel like, and you need to be focused on what, practically, money-wise, your schedule, very practical things, Virgo season again, that is going to get you to that next level, that's going to bring in new things into your life, whether it's more money or whether it's a better apartment or something. anything that you feel like you can actually tangible desire, not anything that is going to save your life or rescue you, but rather something that you can build upon. And all of this is going to be a transformative energy. It's going to be something that's going to, again, align you with your higher purpose if you are aware of what that is. And we have to go back and go through years of pain and years of disappointment in order to understand what it is that we truly want. We're not here to be somebody else's slave or somebody else's mother, unless you actually have children. But we're here to actually wield our own power and do with it as we will. That's just simply how we exist as people, to live in accordance to our own natural laws, not to anybody else's, not to anybody that people, not under people that want to control us, people that want to manipulate us or change our ways of thinking. We've come to a point, and we still need to dive a little bit deeper down into what actually is that, that gear that keeps us turning, that desire, that passion, whether it's regards to family, or if it's to making money, or if it's to getting our message out there, or if it's to connecting with more people, getting more in touch with that, understanding that we can do this shit on our own. We don't need, unless it's somebody that's actually sees us as an equal, that sees us as somebody that, we can trust them to help do this with us, we can do this on our own. And it feels like we can't, but the lesson here is that we have our inner courage, and that, if we're coming to a point where we are feeling like we're falling back into old habits or falling back into old ways of seeing things, we will be reminded that, that's not going to work, because somebody's going to always try to take advantage. Somebody's always going to try to search for our weaknesses. And I feel like, with this card, Totality, which is right next to the Alchemist in reverse, that, somebody might take issue with the fact, if we don't want to, if we're avoiding them on purpose because they deserve to be avoided, or if they're causing nothing but drama and we're just paying them dust. That is essentially what that's about, recognizing that not everybody is worth our attention. And the people that are trying to get our attention, probably more than likely is only here to do so to throw us off track. But Cancer, you know your track, you know where you're going, and it's tough right now. But you have to understand that you can do it alone, or that you can do it with people that love and support you and cherish you, and that are actually there to help you, not to just simply use you, not to simply prey on you. And overcoming that desire to have somebody sort of rescue us or take us by the hand and lead us to whatever. Now is not the time to think about any of that. It's time to just be more connected with what's real, with where our true strength lies. And honestly, that's within us. That's within whatever we want to bring out into the world. If you want to have children, if you want to start a family, if you want to make more money, be realistic about your options. Be realistic about your trajectory. Be realistic about your goals. Be realistic about the fact that, it's not going to be all in one easy go. We will relapse. We will find it difficult to fully come to terms with our true innate power, but that in and of itself doesn't make us powerless if we do mess up and if we do allow ourselves to fall again and again for the liar, the cheater. It's all, as long as you recognize what to change and you actually make steps to change it, that's what matters, Cancer. Okay, so I will see you guys in a week. Sorry again that these are so late. I will see you guys soon. Bye.